Today we're going to learn the Wix CMS in about 10 minutes. Make sure to stick around till the very end where we talk about a very important thing that a lot of people miss when setting up their CMS. First of all, what is the CMS? The CMS, or the Content Management System on Wix, is essentially a built-in database. If you're not familiar with the concept of database, you can kind of think of it like Google Sheets, which you can use to store and organize data. This can be data that was collected from users via, for example, forms, or data that you're going to use to dynamically display on your website. We have new videos every week, and that next one might just have the magic you need for your site and business. The best way not to miss it is to listen to all these happy subscribers and hit that subscribe button. To add the CMS to your site, you're going to go over here to the bottom left of your side panel in the editor to the icon that kind of looks like a Google Sheet, and you're going to click on it. After that, a side panel will open up where you can just click over here, Add to Site, to add the CMS to your website. Once you have added the CMS to your site through the editor, you can now access it both through the same place in the editor on the side panel and through your site dashboard by going to the side panel all the way on the bottom where it says CMS. From both of these places, you can add and edit collections. What are collections, you may be thinking? So to stick with the Google Sheets analogy, you can think of them as individual sheets within the same Google Sheets doc, and they are used to store data that has either a common structure or shared attributes. To create our first collection, we're going to go to that same CMS side panel over here, and we're going to click on Your Collections and Create Collection. Here you will have three options: Create with AI, Start from Scratch, Import from CSV. We are almost always going to start from scratch, and I will show you how to import from CSV later. I'm going to click Start from Scratch and then hit the Next button. Here we need to enter a name for our collection. Don't worry, you can change this later on. But if you happen to be writing code on your website, this will determine the ID of your collection, which is unchangeable. So I'm just going to call this collection Example, and I'm going to click Create. Now Wix will create our collection behind the scenes. When we open a collection, this is what we will see, and as you can see, it looks very similar to a Google Sheet in the sense that it is a table. Just here in the collection, our columns are called fields, and our rows are called items. To add a new item, we can just click right over here, Add Item, and that will add a new row over here into our collection, and we can continue doing so to add as many items as we want. If we want to add a new column, we can go over here to the side and click Add Field. Here we will be prompted to choose the field type. This is where things start to differ a little bit from Google Sheets, because in Google Sheets we're using pretty much only text, even though we have formatting options. But here we have a lot of different options for what our data can be. The most common being the ones here on top, which will be text, and we'll have numbers, URLs. Those are the more common ones. We can also add in things like images and even media galleries, and I'll let you explore that by yourself, but make sure to choose the right field. If you make a mistake, no worries, you can always change this later on. So I'm just going to add in here, for example, a text field by selecting it and then clicking over here to choose the field type. After you choose the field type, you will then choose the field name. This can also be changed later on, and it's worthwhile calling this something that will help you understand what is generally going to be in this column, very similar to how you might build a header inside of Google Sheets. So for example, if I wanted this to hold people's emails, then I could just call this email and hit save. This will create the new field right over here on the right. If you want, you can also drag the different fields to reorganize them. This is just a visual thing. It won't change how this data behaves if it's connected to your website. To add information or data into our collection, we can just go to one of the cells, as it's called, a meeting of a row and a field, click it and type to add in information. We could also paste in information, or we can also bulk import information using a CSV by going up here to the upper right where it says More Actions, and then importing items like this. You click import items and you'll choose a CSV file. Wix after that will ask you to match between the different columns in your CSV and the different fields that you have in your collection to import the data. Data can also be added into the collection using the add item button over here on the upper right, which creates a mini form for you to input the data for a new item, or by users who are actually using your website and fill out a form on your site. To edit or delete data, you can select an individual cell and either edit it or click delete in order to remove its content. If you want to remove an entire item, you can click the checkbox over here by the left side of the item, and then you will be given the option to delete it. You can also select multiple items or even select all items in order to delete your entire collection. It's important to note that removing content from the CMS or deleting items is permanent. The only way to possibly recover this data is using the backups, which can be found inside of your dashboard. If you go to the CMS page and then go over here to more actions on the upper right, you'll see that you have the option here to do backups. Wix will do backups automatically periodically, or you can also add a backup yourself by clicking over here to add backup. And then if you have the need to, you can restore that backup over here using these restore buttons on the side. If for some reason you need to get all of the data that you have stored in a collection out of Wix to either create a backup or use in some other platform, you can do that by going to more actions and export to CSV, and that will create a CSV file based on your collection. If you need to edit a field, you can go to the field itself, hover over it, and you'll see these three dots up here. You can click on the three dots and then edit or make other changes to the field. Once you click edit field, it will open that original dialog and you can change, for example, the field name. It's important to note that you cannot change the field ID, which is later used in code. It's not visible now because we don't have dev mode on our site. You can also change the type here, as I mentioned earlier. Another way that we can manage our fields is using this Manage Fields button right over here. Once we click it, it'll open this side panel where we can decide to either hide or display certain fields. And when you open this panel, you will also discover the 4 system fields that are always included with every single item, but aren't visible out of the box. That is the ID. It's a unique ID of the item that cannot be changed. The created date of the item, the last time it was updated, and the owner of the item, the ID of the person that created the item. I'll toggle them all on now just so you can see what they look like. If you toggle them on, then they will appear here on the side. So we have our ID, created date, updated date, and owner. One thing you may be wondering is there a limit to how many collections I can have? So on the surface level, the answer is no, you can have as many collections as you want, but there is a limit to the total amount of items that you can have in all of those collections on your Wix website, and that limit will depend on which Wix plan you have. On the free version of Wix, you actually have quite a high quota of 10,000, and you can see that through the dashboard, and that is to allow you to experiment with the platform and see its full potential before you choose to upgrade, and you might have less items available once you make that initial upgrade. Of course, all of this might change, so it's best to just check the Wix support documentation to understand what each different plan can provide. There also is a technical limit to the size in bytes of a individual item, but it is highly unlikely that you will exceed that unless you are storing some super heavy data. To see how much of your quota you have used up, you can go to the dashboard, and then you can see over here under your collections the total amount of items that you have available and the items that you have so far. This does not include items that come with Wix app collections. To see Wix app collections, you can go over here to more actions on the upper right and then go to advanced settings. Once in advanced settings, you can toggle on to see also Wix app collections. This will show you collections from things like Wix stores, which will have all of your products, and the different Wix forms, which will store submissions from different forms that you have on your site. Here you can see now that I have 5 Wix app collections, And as I said, the quota from these collections does not count to the total amount of items, so you can use those apps freely and not worry. A few more useful things for organizing and managing your data collections. You'll notice over here that we have a sort and filter button. This will allow us to sort and filter the data so that we only see the data that we need to see and in the order that we want to see it. This can help us manage and find things easier. For example, if I go over here and click sort, I can add a sort. Here I can select one of the fields and then the type of sort that I want to do, for example, A to Z. Just go ahead over here and add in that sort, and then my items will be organized from A to Z. I can apply similar logics in order to filter out and only display some items and not others. Once you have a certain combination of sorts and filters that you find very useful, you can add that as a new view in order to preserve those sorts and filters and manage multiple different types of sorts and filters without having to remove them and add them back in every time you want to change how things are sorted and filtered. One more thing that you'll notice here is apply order to site. This is something that we are going to talk about in a future video when we talk about data sets, and it has to do with the relationship between the order of the items here inside of your collection and the order of how this data might be displayed on your website. Last but not least, we are going to talk about the very important topic of collection permissions. This decides who can access your collections and in what way. If we continue with our Google Sheets analogy, you can compare it to when you share a link to your Google Sheet. Can the person read it? Can they edit it? Or can they only, for example, leave comments on it? To access the permissions of our collection, we're going to go over here to More Actions on the upper right. And under here in this dropdown, you'll see this option over here of permissions and privacy. Once we open that up, we have several different options here in terms of setting permissions and privacy. We have two very basic ones, which is show content and collect content. These are used for very simple use cases. For example, if you just want people to be able to read the content in this collection, you can select show content and then select who will be able to see that content. Same goes for collect content. This is if, for example, you want to use this collection in order to store data from a form that people will fill out on your site. The third option that you have is the advanced option, and this really gets down to the nitty-gritty of exactly who can do each of one of these four actions, which is view content in the collection, add new items to the collection, update the data in the collections, and delete items completely from the collections. And you can, on a very granular level, decide who can do each and every one of these things. For example, now it's set so that only collaborators can do all of these things, and of course, site admin, who always can do everything. And then, for example, I can choose to allow everyone to view the content of the collection, but they would not be able to add, update, or delete content from the collection. It's very important to understand what the permissions are on your collection. So every time you're creating a new collection, make sure you head into this permissions panel and make sure that you have set the permissions correctly based on who you want to be able to access the data in. That's a wrap for the Wix CMS. There's obviously a lot more that we can talk about, but I think this will give you a good starting point and will help you understand what we're going to talk about next week, which is data sets, the bridge between the CMS collections and your actual website. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss next week's video, you can hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.